back that up.
We have the car.
Evidence.
We're at your house.
We're at your house.
We've got Sebastian.
We've got Sebastian.
And how do you have Sebastian?
Just as the detectives reach the end of their rope with Amanda's crumbling alibi, they also reach a point with Sebastian where it's time to lay the cards on the table. Surprisingly, Sebastian helps them do so.
I mean, you're in here, you're in jail, you've been arrested, your girlfriend's been arrested, your kid's been given to your mother's quasi-mother-in-law. You're pretty calm. I mean, what do you think this is about?
You have an assumption.
Okay, what is that assumption?
I know something happened at Grove Park around that time.
How do you know that?
All I've seen it all over the news and on my Facebook.
What happened there?
Apparently somebody got killed.
Who's somebody?
I don't know her name.
Though Sebastian attempts to make it sound as though he only knows of this murder through the media, it immediately becomes clear that he's a little closer to the situation than that.
You don't know?
I didn't meet her because she went to the hospital when my son was born.
So she must tell you.
She knows me, but I didn't know her. I didn't know her name.
She shows up. I gotta be honest, I've had two kids. The only people who showed up at the hospital were friends.
It was Amanda knew her, I didn't.
So she showed up because of Amanda.
Yeah.
So her and Amanda were friends.
Yeah.
How's Amanda feel about this? About her friend being dead.
No, she hasn't really shown a whole lot of emotion about it.
The detectives, who've already been told of Amanda's violent, possessive side, explore whether Sebastian's interactions with Caitlin may have triggered her jealousy.
Have you ever dated her before?
No. I don't even know her name.
She ever flirted with you before?
Like at the hospital that day your baby was
At
born?
the hospital, she tried to talk to me. She kept complimenting my appearance and kept saying that even though it looked like I haven't been slept in a while, a few days I still look good. I seemed kind of pretty mad about that.
Well, that was in front of Amanda.
Yeah.
You know, this is not our first rodeo. We've had a team.
There's 7 homicides in St. Joe within the past year.
Yeah.
At least that you found a body for.
All right.
It's probably more, but
Is there? Well, who said anything about a homicide?
Google.
But I mean, we didn't say anything about a homicide. Who says this is a homicide we're talking about? Is there something we need to know about a homicide?
Well, you're investigating the homicide.
We're investigating hundreds of crimes.
You're investigating homicide.
We're investigating hundreds of crimes.
Well, that's the only one in the news, so I'm assuming.
With the suspects already aware of why they're likely here, the cops let the cat out of the bag.
Do have a few questions.
I think you know the answers to the question. You go ahead and ask them. I'll help you out.
It was just when I was arrested at the parade. Why that was even really necessary for so many officers to come back.
Well, I think you have to look at the thought of this. If that's what you think we're talking about the officers thought that you possibly killed somebody. That's pretty serious. My book. All right?
I understand that.
So that's, I would say you're right on track, honestly.
But if the detectives are laying aside their pretenses with Sebastian, they're going even more forcefully to the evidence with Amanda, particularly the evidence that connects her to Caitlin.
Friends with her on Facebook, your messenger.
After that night, don't tell anybody.
Jeb, where are you going?
Don't tell anybody where you're going to your moment.
We can just do it over at my house. We do it in LA all the time.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the messages that you sent her, Caitlin. Let's quit calling her. She deserves a name. Regardless of what she was or what she did, her name is Caitlin Root. And you sent her messages to come and be with you guys and not to tell anybody who she was going with.
She was such a good friend. She came to the hospital the day that her son was born.
In the lead. Stay on top.
And she talked about how it wasn't my baby.
What do you mean?
Like it wasn't Sebastian's baby.
So
But
it was your baby,
that's
but not
okay.
Sebastian's
So
baby.
so it pissed her. So she's out there saying, "Hey,
She's saying you're.
yeah, she's calling you." Yeah,
What else happened? She says it's not Sebastian's baby.
yeah.
She's telling you that you run around,
Mm-hmm.
which is really what she does, isn't it?
That doesn't bother me.
As hard as they try to get a reaction out of Amanda, however, she remains seemingly indifferent. Sebastian, however, tells them that she had a much different response at the time.
She couldn't wait for her to leave, and that she was just gonna keep her cool about it. She might have to fight somebody after she had a baby.
Back with Amanda, the detectives are learning a lot about their teenage suspect, and none of it is good.
You don't physically scare me, but it's just spooky that you just have no emotion about it. No emotion. I've been doing this for 31 years. I have never, ever sat across from someone and talked to them about a crime like this, even if they're not involved, and had them sit here with this much lack of emotion. And not to mention the fact that I'm telling you, you did it, and you have no emotion except for giggling once in a while. That is spooky.
As these interviews proceed, crime scene analysts are collecting evidence at the couple's home. They come across several bizarre items that hint at the chilling truth of what happened to Caitlin. It's these items that detectives have in mind as they question Sebastian about Amanda's religious beliefs.
She's kind of looked into some other stuff too, some darker stuff, hasn't she?
A little bit.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I don't mind it as long as she doesn't go like too far with it.
Right. What would be too far? What would be too far?
Really depending on what the exact
Like all gothing out.
yeah. It can affect her actions or her appearance or like that, influencing her to do anything.
Do you
Our
believe
universe it could
do you
be
believe
as
in
small as
Satan?
a speck on
Do you
a
believe in
ballpoint
Satan? Do you worship Satan? Huh? You.
I could go to the doctor.
He said he'd be right back. I texted him and he said he'd be right back. He said she
You
had
have
to go.
deodorant.
No. So,
It's gonna get smelly.
do you
after
have any, when you worship Satan, what do you do?
I didn't say I worship Satan.
I'm saying you probably do. I'm guessing you do.
And why do you think that?
I just do, but you, well, might be because of stuff that's in your background. But when
What
you
do you
say,
mean it's in
when
my
I just ask you and you say, I don't know, maybe I do, that's kind of a clue.
Maybe
So-
I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I believe in God, maybe I don't. Maybe I believe that that chair is the Messiah, maybe I don't.
You see one thing consistent about our interview? That whenever I back you into a corner about something you're uncomfortable about or about the truth, that you find something else to talk about. You think you're smarter than anybody else, I think.
No, I
is
probably
what it
sound
is.
like
No, you sound like a person who is scrambling to do anything to avoid the truth.
Detective Till's assessment isn't based solely on their latest exchange. Throughout the interview, Amanda has diverted the conversation into a number of blind alleys, many of them quite silly.
Well, I
Happy birthday.
can't guarantee anything at this point. So
Enemy
I mean, I could get a cupcake or something.
when you do smoke weed, where do you get it from? Do you get it from here? Who do you get your weed from?
He's a hamster.
He's a hamster.
Okay.
They should let you have pets in jail. But then that'd be a bad idea, though, because then they would probably die.
And it's not long before Amanda tosses out her most outrageous suggestion yet.
There's only two people that were there, you and Sebastian. So you're telling me he did it all?
He didn't do anything.
Then who did then?
Bear?
You know what I'm beginning to think? What I'm beginning to think is you are a very cold, hard person.
Do I get to go to the doctor?
In a minute.
Should go back into dispatch. Hey, I'm beginning to think you're a very cold, hard person. That you can sit here and have no emotion and make funnies about all this stuff to say maybe she was killed by a bear. Oh, you know exactly what she was killed by.
With this statement, the interrogation takes a turn, and the detectives run out of patience.
Less than a week ago, you killed somebody. And you don't care. You probably went home and had a great time. Oh, wasn't that fun? Wasn't that great? I can't wait to do it again. Maybe we should do it to Siler.
No.
Yeah, maybe we should do it to Siler. What we did to her, maybe we should do that to Siler.
You're sick.
You're sick. I've never killed anyone.
Neither have I.
You're a liar. You're evil, soulless, heartless people who like to kill and get off on it. You probably rubbed her blood all over your body and probably, I don't know, probably had some weird...
Danced in a circle.
Yeah.
Shouting.
You did?
Is that what you think?
Yeah, that's what I think. Because you don't... So what happened then?
No, that didn't happen. I hope that didn't happen.
You danced around in her blood and probably went, yay me, look at me. Here's to you, Satan. Here's to you. My first sacrifice. Or is it my first sacrifice?
Rest and recuperate. Tomorrow you'll be running drills until you drop.
Withdraw. You know what? This one doesn't work. How about a baby? Let's sacrifice a baby.
Baby souls are worthless.
So, a teenage soul's worth more than a baby soul? A horse? Somebody, a bad girl soul is worth more than a pure, innocent baby? Really? So was her soul worthless?
I don't know.
You told me a baby soul is worthless, so when does a soul become worthful? You yourself look it up. I'm not looking it up. You've looked it up. So when is a soul worth something?
I didn't look anything up.
Well, then how you know a baby soul is worthless?
Amanda's remark hints at something lurking beneath her typical teenage facade, but we will soon see that it merely scratches the surface of her chilling beliefs. On this day, however, Detective Ogdell has heard enough.
How we doing?
She's a liar. Two things I know about this. I'll let you talk to her for a moment about what you're going to talk to her about, but two things I know for sure, Josh. Okay? You know, of course, her son's name is Siler, who she doesn't care about.
Okay.
Boyfriend's name is Sebastian. There's two things I know about her. She is a killer, and she's a liar.
Well,